Hey guys, what's up? This is Saga here. I hope you're doing great. So we are watching the PS5 technical presentation, hosted by Mark Sony. Well, I totally expect that we will get the console reveal of the PS5 Pro. Uh, I'm actually waiting for it for a long time. I didn't have the PS5, the slim version or the original version, so I'm planning to buy that, and I want to see what are the upgrades that you will get in the PS5 Pro. But the problem with this thing is that this is a presentation hosted by Mark Cerny, and if you will remember, I think in 2020, before the launch of the PS5, nobody knows like what PS5 gonna look like, and the similar type of presentation done by the Mark Cerny, and people were expected that they will going to see the console, but it was just 1 hour of whole jargon talk about the PS5 specifications. And I think a lot of people didn't even understand what that was. And yeah, people were very disappointed at that time. But I don't want the same thing to happen in this particular video or the presentation. I hope this will not be a 1 hour jargon talk of the PS5 Pro specification, and maybe starting 5 minutes they can talk about the specifications and all, but please just show the PS5 Pro console as well, and also let us know when will it going to be released, and how, at which price. I don't want it to be much more, like a lot much more. Of course it's gonna be expensive more than the Slim version, but the difference should not be that much. So let's hope. Okay, it's starting now. All right. Oh, is there game, is there going to be game
Hi, I'm
reviews?
Mark Cerny. I'm
Okay.
excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup,
All
PlayStation
right.
5 Pro, and
Oh,
how it advances
straight
gaming
to it.
technology. But
That's cool.
first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience.
Well, it doesn't deliver 60 frames per second in
When
4K.
PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games.
Alright, we know
With
that.
audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance.
Yep,
The dreams of the developers
that's
are
right.
bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players.
Well,
Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals,
not.
typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity, typically choosing to run at 60 frames per second, mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to
Okay.
give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically
Okay,
prefer.
there's gonna
To
be no
do
mode?
that, PS5
That
Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways.
okay.
Here's what we call the Big 3.
Alright.
First,
Upscaling.
we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster. Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library
Okay,
called
AI-driven
PlayStation
upscaling.
Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the big 3 involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
Yeah, that's what I want actually.
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Well, we can see definitely the difference.
This goal of delivering almost fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift
I mean,
Apart.
if
We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5.
they are like
Another
PS5.
way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5. For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars. So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big 3 showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects, as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference. Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per
Well,
second.
don't care much about ray tracing though.
That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy,
Wow.
allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up by giving you a quick look at a number of
Alright,
games running
alright.
on the new console.
Let's see the console now. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Alright. It's okay. It is exactly like the leaks, but there's no this tray. Is it gonna be all digital edition? Oh, that's what I don't want from PS5 Pro though.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Alright, alright. Cool.
Did I do it? Oh, what? What's with all the neon?
vertical stand sold separately. That's what no. $699. Well, that's expensive, man. It's $700, and the Slim was like what, $500, a $200 increase. Um, is that all? I think yes. Is that it? I guess. Uh, okay. I have a few things to say. See, let's talk about the prices and all later, but what they are claiming to provide a stable 60 frames per second with the fidelity like graphics, I think that's the only thing I expect from the PS5, nothing less. And if they are gonna deliver, if the PS5 can deliver that, then it's totally worth the purchase. But the problem now, I see two problems. The first one, is it gonna be the all digital edition, or is it gonna be like Slim where you can attach a separate disk drive? Although it should come with the disk drive if they are asking for $700, man. Seriously, it's, I mean, it's too much to ask because there's like $200 increase. You will not get the uh, you will not get the disk drive, or maybe it can, like you will not able to attach the separate disk drive. Oh yeah, people are saying that vertical stand stored separately. That's what I already anticipated. Well, the PS5 Pro looks like exactly like the leaks that we have seen in the past few weeks. So I think this is the major concern. No disk drive. That's the main problem. And I don't know, man. If they at least come on, man, you can deliver 4K 60 frames per second. If that's gonna happen on PS5 Pro, then it somewhat can justify your purchase. But to be honest, I don't know. I actually a little bit disappointed in the PS5 Pro. Uh, I think the no disk drive thing is the major deal breaker, at least for me. I don't know about you guys. Many of you maybe uh, purchase digital games. I don't have a PS5, but I have the all digital Xbox Series S, and I know that there is a big disadvantage of purchasing game digital because you cannot purchase used games. You know, from the market. You cannot purchase the used game disc and then play it on your console. That's the major, I will say, drawback of a digital edition. If you're someone who purchases the new games only, like the first copy, not the first copy, the original games, not the used ones, then it will be fine for you. But yeah, they should provide an option for a disk drive. And from this video, I don't think they are promising something like that. It They didn't even mention that this is gonna be all digital or this gonna have a disk drive. They just showed the PS5 and that's it. I mean, they show the PS5, but there was no sign of any disk drive in the PS5 Pro. Also, they also didn't mention that it's gonna be all digital and all or not. Well, I have now in a dilemma that should I purchase the PS5 Slim or the Pro? Maybe I have to wait for it to release and see some reviews of that. Is it actually delivering what it is promising here or not? Uh, or not? Because in the start of the video, you can even s- like uh, hear Mark Cerny was that the PS5 runs games on like what, 60 frames per second. I think he said that, but then he also mentions those two modes. So PS5 Pro will not have those fidelity and performance modes. But what if what if the games come and you will not able to choose. I mean, see, there's a comfort in those options as well, those modes as well, because uh, let's say your PS5 is not running games in a decent frame rate, you can always choose performance modes and sacrifice a little bit of your graphics in the game, but you can have a much more smoother gameplay. But what if the games that will come in the PS5 Pro will not run at 60 frames per second, and you don't get the option to choose the performance mode as well? So that's kind of a disadvantage. Not if they like, what are they claiming, that the 60 frames per second gameplay is gonna be a for sure deal. I don't think it's gonna be a for sure deal. You cannot get 60 frames per second in every game, at least in 4K. Maybe in 1080p PS5 Pro will able to pull that off, or maybe not. Not sure, man. Yep. So I think these are my initial thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think about this reveal and this whole like thing with the PS5 Pro of not having the disk drive and $200 increase. I think the $200 increase is actually, I mean, actually a big price difference, right? 700 and 500. If I mean, if you're not getting the disk drive, then I cannot buy the PS5 Pro. To be honest, I need the disk drive on my console. I learned my like this mistake of buying a digital console, which is Xbox Series S. And even though Xbox Series has the Game Pass, so you'll get a tons of games to play, but PS5 does not have that kind of a library with their subscription of PS Plus, right? And you have to buy games other than the games that you will get from the subscription. So yep, that's my 2 cents about it. Maybe I will make a few video, but all the things I would wanna say about the PS5 Pro, I already said it in this video. So maybe I will not make a video. I don't know. We will see that. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this reveal, and uh, let me know your thoughts as well. So thank you. Thanks for watching, and bye.